Okay, let's take a closer look at some of this stuff. I'm going to start with the pole because I absolutely love this and I highly recommend it. I've casted a bunch of times with it. This is the Cast King 5000 Capstan Elite. It's a sealed system, so no salt water can get inside of this. All the bearings are sealed. It mounts real nice on this pole. It has the large knob for adjusting your or for reeling in. I love the knob. It's a very attractive look to it. The pole is great too, and it's matched perfectly for this reel. So that's my new reel. I pair that with the second spool. The second spool is going to hold 80-pound test. So I could use this same reel for bottom fishing or for casting the 40-pound Power Pro on the top. The pole is the Cast King Kong series. It's the 8-foot medium fast action. I can cast a 1-ounce bucktail a country mile with it, and with the 80-pound test on, I can cast a 2 or 3-ounce sinker, catch a 5-pound tog, and reel it up with no problem and get it up over the rocks. So one rod and reel will now replace 2 or 3 I'd normally bring, just in case. This is going to replace everything. So this pole is fantastic. This is my tackle store. This is a 1997 vintage giant outfitter's box. This is a guide box. This guide box holds a lot of stuff. This is going to be my tackle store in the trunk. I'll go ahead and restock everything I fish with all my extra bucktails and weights and other types of lures. Everything you normally bring down to the rail is going to be kept in the vehicle at all times. So I have this. So I replenish this box and then go ahead and transfer what I need to the small box. So let's talk about some of the items I have on here. You already saw the spool. Now this spool is very inexpensive. To add it to my Capstan Elite reel, this is very inexpensive and it changes the whole game because this makes me have 2 completely different fishing rigs. This becomes a bottom fishing pole and a top fishing pole. 8 foot is an ideal length. It's not too long. It will work on the surf at 8 feet. It will work on the bottom for pulling large fish up over the rocks. And it will work for casting for blues and stripers. Again, I do all this with 1 pole now instead of 2 or 3 poles to have at my ready. So I love the Cast King Capstan Elite with the extra spool. Game changer. The 8 foot gives me the little extra casting distance I need. It's a rugged pole. I'm used to using things like ugly sticks over the years. They're hard to break. This seems like it's going to be just that durable. It's very high technology on the laminate of these poles. The composition is fantastic, very highly technical. The construction and build on this pole is fantastic. The guides, everything is heavy duty. It breaks apart into 2 pieces, which I absolutely love now because when I put my strap on here and hold this together, I got a very compact rod and reel setup that is actually replaces 2 rods and reels because I have the extra spool. So adding the spool changes everything. This is truly a game changer. This is the best feeling pole I've ever casted with, and I've had hundreds of poles over the years because, again, equipment is temporary, fishing knowledge is permanent. So use some of that and get the right equipment. It's only taken me 57 years to get it right. let's talk about some of these individual pieces of equipment. So this, first of all, these little magnetic things are absolutely great. They work easy. You pull them off, they're very powerful magnets, and they'll grab and return to their place. And you can do a lot of carrying with this. Unless you catch it on something and jerk it, it won't come off. So it's not going to fall off by accident. But I've got this knife. Now, again, I don't use real expensive stuff just in case it would fall into the water. So this knife, if you're interested, you can see it upstairs on the page. I just love this. It's got a great look. It was so inexpensive you wouldn't believe it. But you can grab your knife, pick it off of here, open it up. It's got that nice quick release. Just pull it back right here. Opens right up. Very attractive, sharp, very attractive blue and black, blue and black. It's just very attractive, very usable, inexpensive knife. And you always need a knife. And sometimes you want a little better knife than a rusty piece of junk you use for bait. So there's a little better knife. I love it. Again, put it right back where it was. Another thing we'll talk about is these pliers. Now, this is a tool you absolutely have to have is pliers. When you fish for fish like we get at the inlet, everything has teeth and everything will scrape and try to bite you. So you don't want to get your hands near the mouth. And then the hooks get caught in the very thick skin of the mouth of saltwater fish. So you've got to have something to quickly be able to release them. And I don't want to touch the fish very much. A lot of times I can grab it with this, hold it up and jerk it once, and the hook dislodges and the fish falls to the sidewalk, where I can push it back into the water. But picking pliers was definitely something I was very, very careful with. I wanted, number one, lightweight. This thing weighs nothing. It's all aluminum. It's not going to rust. It's got a titanium insert for the actual plier teeth. So it's very nice. It's got a crimper tool in here. It's got a carbide cutter for cutting your fishing line. So you can just grab it, snip your fishing line. So it's got everything you need there. It's also totally one-handed operation. So I'll take this baby, yank it off here to use it, squeeze it lightly, and it opens right up. Once it's open, it's a nice spring as you can operate it easily. And when you're done, again, one-handed operation. You take that and push that up with your thumb, and it's ready to go back in its home. So I put a lot of effort into choosing this. I looked at least 100 pliers for everything I needed in it at an exceptional price. That's what I chose. Fish grabbers, you see the Boca sticks and all the other ones that usually you grab, like hold them sort of like a syringe and push it, and that makes the mouth open up. And they're all big. They're all very large, and they're tubular, and I didn't like the look of them. I've used them before. I never had one that was easy to use, felt good in the hand, and worked. So I found this one after extensive research. Again, on the magnetic clip, so I can pop it off. Lightweight aluminum, attractive pattern, nice grips here to grab with your hand, good jaws. And I always wondered about these before I used one the first time, of how does that actually hold a fish? Well, it's amazing, and it's all physics. You see how it's bent up there and how it's got the little teeth and it grabs. When you put that into a fish's mouth and it grabs their lips, it will not come off. That thing will pick up extensive weight. And the nice thing is you don't have to get slime on your fingers. So with these two tools right here, I'm set. I got my pliers, I got my fish holder. Pull the fish over the rail, he's flopping around on the sidewalk. I don't want to touch him. I might touch him with my foot, get my clipper in his mouth there, let go, I grab them, lift them up, take my pliers, unhook the hook, let the fish go. So these two tools are just usable all the time. So I keep them at the ready at a moment's notice. And you notice too, it doesn't matter what order, you can put them wherever you want on here. One over here, one over here, one over here. If I want to move the knife up front, I can move the knife up front. So everything's right there. So these three items here are fantastic. You need those all the time. I showed you around back. Quite often you need a pair of scissors, and the little nail clippers or even the clipper on here, sometimes you need something a little different. So I put a pair of these really sharp, easy to operate, retractable, foldable, not in the way. You can use these for a variety of cutting things, and it's got some meat to it. Like when you press on there, it's really going to cut something. So depending on what you have to cut, it's right there. While I have this around back, let's take a look. These hook extractors are fantastic. You just put it around the line, slide it in, and push it, and it dislodges the hook. Pull it out, and you've got the hook out of the fish. So this is for the ones that take the lure deep up into their throat, kind of get down there. So very usable tool, and you never seem to have one when you need it. So it's a part of my 2026 fishing system. That's going to go in there. Know what else I keep in here? Fishing gloves. At my age, protection from the sun is very important. And your hands are always vulnerable because they're out there fishing and holding your reel. These are Cast King. These are really nice. They will protect your hands from sunburn and give you a little grip and even keep your hands clean. So I like these very much. They operate nicely. They get an open space here so your hands don't get hot. You've got tactile finger spot in there. Taking them off is real easy too, because I don't know if you can see that, but right here and right here, there's some reinforcement rubber on there. That's meant to grab and pull the glove off. So it's no problem to get them on and off. When you can't find one glove and all you have is one, that's always a problem. So this has a nice snap on here. You can put the two of these together. And it's harder to lose them that way. That goes back in the back here, along with my hook extractor. Let's talk about this watch for a minute. Time is important at the inlet because you're paying attention to how much tide you have left on the incoming tide or the outgoing tide. This is an inexpensive Casio that is mounted on there permanently on the handle. I don't use it on my wrist. I wear it right here. As you could probably see, it's very easy to see the time in full light. The battery will last for years and years. And again, inexpensive, and it's just part of the handle. So I like that. Cast King put a rod holster on the side here. I don't use it as a rod holster because my rod's 8 feet long. I don't want to try to be holstering it and carrying it around. But you always need a flashlight when the fish keep biting and it gets too late. So I got this nice rechargeable, very simple aluminum flashlight that will be here whenever I need it. And again, it's fully rechargeable, so it's easy to use. And it fits perfectly in that little holster, which I really love. And what else didn't I show you? Inside here, I also have something else that I use. I use this infrequently, but when you need it, you need it. A lot of people are opposed to a gaff, but I'm telling you right now that when you get that keeper striper and he's wedged in the rocks and way down there just out of reach, most people end up losing that fish. So I carry a gaff just in case. It's got a cover protecting the point. Now the thing about a gaff is you don't have to stab a fish with it, although that's how they're designed. You can stab them, lift them right out of the water, but you make them bleed and you may kill the fish. I only use that if I'm absolutely going to eat the fish and I know it right up front and it's time to eat. I'll gaff them if I have to. So I've always carried one of these, usually a homemade one on made up an old fishing pole. But again, carrying another item is what I'm getting away from. Only thing I want to carry is what can actually stay in the bag. So this was a great find. Again, it's up top if you want to check it out, but it's expandable to give you just enough reach to get down into those rocks. Just enough, just enough. And used strategically, you can run this down your fishing line and get them hooked in the mouth or under the gill plate. So there are ways to use this without injuring the fish. You just have to have some experience with it. But this folds down to 11 inches, even has the protection on there. And now I've always got a gaff just in case, again, I need it, and it stays comfortably right in the front pocket of the bag. Now, if you have this on as a fanny pack, which I demonstrated earlier, when you open the front cover, it opens like a tray. So when it opens up like a tray, I've got everything I need in this box. This box is heavy because it's got a lot of sinkers in it. But used as a fanny pack, it will actually let you open and it doesn't completely open all the way. What do I keep in here? Well, in the back, it's got a spot for keeping your rubber worms and your plastic lures. I even have my extra leader material right here so I can tie on a leader. Inside of the box here, and I've gotten a lot of this on Amazon. And you've got to have inline sinkers and bucktails. I use bucktails all the time. You can buy these right on Amazon. They go to a pretty good price on sale. Little pieces of metal spoons in different sizes. Bluefish, shad, mackerel, stripers. Everything loves these. So I got a bunch of them. So with a selection of those, selection of bucktails, inline sinkers for adding a little bit of extra weight when you cast to reel back. Again, I found that no matter how much fishing equipment that I brought down to that darn inlet, 98% of the time I used 2% of the gear I bring. At least the type of gear. I may lose a couple of bucktails, but all I use is the bucktails. So why bring all that other equipment? It's unbelievable to me how many things you see people bring down to that rail and actually tie on and try to use. But I catch fish. I catch hundreds of fish every single year. And I use bucktails, I use plastics, and I catch fish. And I use those spoons, which are great. So everything, again, is right in here. So why do I any longer need uh, a giant box or 2 or 3 boxes or a box and a bucket? I've got everything I need right here. Everything I need right here. Grab and go. Grab and go. It's ready to go. So the last thing I'll show you is this bucket, which I got on Amazon somewhere. This is a great bucket. I was tired of using a white bucket with a red lid that I've used for so many years. And what happens is you end up throwing your tog equipment and your bait and everything in here. And every time you have to retie, you have to dig in here, and it's a real problem. Everything gets tangled together or stuck in your rag. It's just a problem. So I decided to upgrade my box. I even put a nice toxic sticker on there for the heck of it. But I upgraded my bucket because I got one of these. This is the Plano bucket topper. This thing is fantastic. You can sit on it, so it acts as a nice natural sitting spot. In the top, you have your hooks and everything else you need right at your disposal. So when you have to retie, you don't have to dig in the bucket. You take it right out of the top. And when you have this open and you need a weight, you lift in here, got room for your weight storage, which again is really cool. So this is all I need for tog fishing. This is all I need for the bottom. I can catch tog, black bass, sheep's head, drum, black drum, red drum, all bottom type fish that are going to use what I have in here, which is everything I need. In the bottom of here, I keep one of these, which again, you can buy that on Amazon too. It straps around the rail and holds your fishing pole to the rail so you can put it down for a second and not have to worry about it leaning against the rail and falling in the wind or whatever. This holds your pole. Put some ice packs in there, throw your bait in there, throw your beer in there, throw your fish you catch in a plastic bag and throw them in there too. So you got everything you need for bottom fishing available right there, and a nice handy seat to sit on while you're fishing. 2026 Indian River Inlet, Delaware, fishing at its finest. I plan to catch hundreds of fish this year. I'll be making some additional videos showing how some of this equipment functions in the field when I'm actually grabbing a fish or dislodging a fish. So keep an eye out for additional follow-up videos showing some of this equipment in action and some of the great action we have at the Indian River Inlet. Come on out and fish. If you see me there, I'll be glad to help you catch your first fish. If you've never fished there before, look me up. I'm always on the rail. This is John, and this is what I use.